It is no more news that coronavirus has been declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. And as the virus is ravaging all nations of the world, most countries have been working around the clock to stem the tide of this virus. And what have they done to curtail it? Have they been able to contain it? And what has been assessment so far? And that brings us to our discuss today on your image, public relations, and COVID-19, an assessment and way forward. And I have my guest in the studios today because definitely we have to obey the rule of social distancing, and there are just two guests that I have today. And join me as I welcome into the studio on my immediate right hand, the first and only woman chairperson of the Ogun State chapter of the Nigerian Institute of NIPR. She's also a fellow of the Institute and three-time commissioner in Ogun State. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome Mrs. Doyinsola Ogunbiyi. You are most welcome to your image.
Thank you very much.
I also have with me on my left-hand side, one time chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association in Ogun State, immediate past National Secretary General of the Nigerian Medical Association in Nigeria, Dr. Adewumi Alayaki is also an activist. You are welcome to the studio.
Yeah, thank you very much. And viewers at home, good evening.
You've seen my guest on the show today. We want to take a critical look at COVID-19 and public relations and the assessment so far. Way forward have been able to contain it to a large extent, and they will be talking on this topic today. And let me start from Dr. Alayaki, who is a medical practitioner. He's also an activist and, of course, family physician. I want to do a critical assessment of the COVID-19 so far. I want to also weave it around public relations. How far have you gone in containing this virus since it started in some nations of the world in December and in Nigeria this year?
Well, thank you very much. Because of time, I want to narrow down to what we have in Nigeria. Okay. The problem started, as we all know, in China in December 2019. We believe Nigeria is supposed to have started preparing at that point in time, which we did not do. And when we had the first case, you know, the Italian who came to Nigeria that we discovered in Iwekoro here, Nigeria too, I mean, was still not there. We were not really prepared.
In terms of preparation.
In terms of preparation. And by the time we started preparing, I believe, or we believe, that those who were supposed to even be involved in the preparation were not involved. You understand? It's not just about saying that, oh yes, we want to contain this disease, we want to contain this infection. There are a lot of things that will come into play. By now, if not because the human job that people in the media have been doing to sensitize people, it's something that will have ravaged the country beyond what we are talking about. Till, as we are speaking, we are not where we are supposed to be. You understand? As we continue, we're talking about this relaxation, no relaxation, or what have you, we'll look at it, the way it has been affecting us, and what we are still going to expect. Because I've been telling people, if you test 100 people, you discover 10 people, which means that if you test 1,000 people, you discover about 100 people. That's what it means. So when you look at the number of people that have been tested, you look at the number of people that have presented themselves, what about the society at large? Whenever you relax, you go to the society. If you are already infected, you go there. Some people are going to catch it, they're going to contract it from you. But because majority are asymptomatic, you never can tell, and they keep on infecting other people. So the effect that we're still going to have, I hope we'll be able to contain it.
Okay, let me still go back to your first statement about the level of preparedness of Nigeria as a country. They saw it coming. So how better could they have prepared for the virus?
Well, thank you very much. Not only Nigeria,
okay,
even in other climes. Countries like Spain, like Italy, they thought it was a joke. They thought it was a joke, and it was restricted to China alone. For example, after the index case we had in Nigeria, that flight of March 13 that brought a lot of, people where they started detecting this person
into the country,
shouldn't have allowed to, and they come to this country at all. We shouldn't have allowed it. We saw the index case, and we knew, yes, this man came all the way from Italy. And we knew that UK, US was, or they were very, very affected in a very large number. We should have, at that point in time, closed our airports and seaports. But we didn't allow that. So that flight of March 13 that flew into Lagos brought a lot of people from UK. That was when
so
we
it
started.
contributed stupendously to the spread of the virus in Nigeria.
It shows part of our preparedness. Because, fine, most of these people, they were abroad. Most of Nigerians were abroad. They wanted to come back home. So when they came in, what did we do? We allowed them to go
freely and mix with people.
When we're supposed to have created an isolation center where we have to keep them, that you cannot go to your house, irrespective of who
the status.
Irrespective. You should have said, no. You don't mingle with the society. You are coming from a society where this thing is ravaging already. So now that you are coming to Nigeria, you must observe these 14 days where we provide for you, not in your own house. At that point in time, we'll have been able to curtail or contain it to some extent.
Thank you very much, Dr. Let me go back to Mrs. Doyisola Ogunbiyi. We are doing assessment now, and let's look at the media, various media campaigns that they have done against this virus. Have the media organizations done enough in terms of sensitization, in terms of enlightenment, informing people, and even creating awareness even to the grassroots? Have they done enough?
Well, there is nothing like enough. And I want to start by saying, public relations is all about the public.
About the public?
About the public. Relationship with the public is about public relations. That not being the definition is just what it is about. I have observed over time that what they are doing is a kind of a stereotype information dissemination. The same thing all over and over and over again. Nobody is talking about what you can do in your immediate community, what you can do with your families, apart from wash your hands, wear masks, and all these things are borrowed information. We are not even doing information relative to our environment. Because all these people that came with all those facts, their cities are well planned, they don't have slums, they don't have ghettos that are so terrible as our own. They don't live in clusters, and so on and so forth. So we have to look at ourselves, begin to design the kind of information that people need to suit our own environment. We are not doing that. In terms of the normal information release, we have all the task force doing update every morning. We have some governors doing update from time to time. But what they are telling us is not something pacifying.
In what sense?
In the sense that is either they say they extend lockdown, or some people died, or the coronavirus patients increased. There is no good news. Nothing. We want to hear something pacifying. Even tell us how the isolation centers, how they operate. What is happening there? I was elated sometime in Easter when one musician says he went to the isolation center to sing and dance with them. These are the kind of things that the society want to hear. They
want to know about.
They want to know.
You mean there is secrecy in the way information is being disseminated?
There is so much secrecy. And then people are not actually taken into consideration. Everything is falling on their laps. This is what we wanted to do. This is what we want to do without preparing me for it. You are saying I should go to war without teaching me how to even pull the trigger. You know, you just say this is what is going to happen tomorrow. This is what is going to happen day after. You are not saying, you are not preparing me, telling me that it is likely to be like this. If it is going to be like this, please make sure you are prepared in this manner. So, and there are so many information flying in the air. The air is so porous now. The air is so saturated with information about this COVID that, in fact, it sobers me. I don't even know. You know,
what to believe.
You don't know what to believe. You know, a lot of third-party information, and then our government have to be cognizant of some things. Number one, they should know that every other person is holding a phone or a kind of gadget and is available to record anything that is happening at any time. So it's any time. It means that they are not hidden. There is no, if you try to be secretive, you are secretive, it means that you are even generating rumor more around you. Public relations says, say it as it is.
As it is. So
if you hide anything, you are generating rumors. You are generating insinuations. People are going to be imagining things and be, you know, coining information that they think the public want to hear when you are not telling them the fact. So it's too porous, and we are doing it so stereotyped manner that everybody is saying the same thing. You know, we are not saying anything that concerns a particular sector of people. And look at the issue of palliatives. The information carried out on the palliative thing, the public were not prepared that we are coming to this particular area tomorrow. This area should be ready for us. Your leaders should come and meet us and collect what belongs
to your community.
You know, they should carry people. It's all about the people. They should carry people along.
So it is people-oriented.
It's people. It's about the people. People are the recipients of all these things. People are the ones suffering it. And again, you know, it could have been more easy if they carried the people along. I was thinking just on my own musing.
Okay.
I said, if I had to handle the palliative distribution, there are organized groups in our society. Hairdressers Association, Market Women Association, Carpenters Association. There is no group that is not organized. Call their leaders. How many are you in your group? This is for you. How many are you in your own group? This is for you. There is no way this palliative will not go round. Now that we are hearing all sorts of stories surrounding it, that, you know, they are carrying it to their house, you don't give room for people to start suspecting you. Exactly. You begin to do things that make people trust you. You know, you build trust in people by what you do. Okay. So they are not managing the information properly.
Well. And now that everybody has become information manager.
Because we allow them. If we do the right thing, nobody will have anything to say. If I do it right, nobody will have anything to say. You won't criticize me. You won't go and carry a fake story about me because you can't find me wanting. You don't find me wanting. You get my point? So we have to be conscious of the people we are managing. You know, it's about government of the people. So,
all right, you're still watching Your Image today, and the topic of discussion is public relations, COVID-19 assessment, and way forward. And my guests are still in the studio. And of course, you can call in to be part of this program. We have a caller, Shola from Itoku in Abeokuta. Hello. Oh, we missed that call. You can be part of this discussion via the number being displayed on your television set. And my guests are still in the studio. Let me go to Dr. Alayaki. She talked about secrecy in information management. And let's now look at the relationship between state governors and NCDC. It seems there is a lacuna in terms of figure, in terms of update every now and again. And when that happens, people may not get the right information. What's your opinion about this? Part of the assessment.
Well, thank you very much. So far, so good. I know every evening by 11:50 p.m. they dish out, statistics that the number of people tested, the number of people that were discharged, the number of active patients, and those who died, they discharged. But
let's pick this call from Adeboye. Adeboye from Mowe. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Can you please speak a little bit louder?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. You're welcome to your image.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kubi.
Good evening.
Yeah. You know when government want to collect something from you?
Hello?
When government
You are
want to
live.
collect something
Go
from
ahead,
you,
please.
They will know your resident, they will know your house.
Pardon?
Hello, Adeboye, we can hear you.
They could know your resident, they could know your house.
We didn't get him right. Hello, Adeboye.
I can't hear you.
They don't know your local government, they don't know your area.
Nothing is not audible enough.
Hello? Hello, Adeboye. Oh, we missed that call. You can please call us back. We are still on your image from the station. I was talking about relations between state government and
every evening they dish out, statistics as per the number of cases tested, number of people tested positive,
Okay.
the number of active cases that we have, the number of people discharged, and number of deaths recorded. We have state epidemiologists, that they relate, with the national body, and they say this is what we have. Although people have been asking questions as per how true are these statistics given out. From what Chief Minister have just said, that when a lot of things are done in secrecy, you give room for people to, generate rumors and insinuations. You understand? When you really don't, when you say you are counting votes, people see you how you are doing it. They know this is what you are doing. But in the case of it, people don't know the nitty-gritty behind what you are really doing. You understand? How are we sure when you say you have tested 10,000 people? Are we sure you have actually tested 10,000 people? You understand? When you say we have 9,000 positive, are we sure we have 9,000 positive people? So when you look at it, even people have been asking that people that you are releasing, what are you using to treat them? Let us know.
Exactly.
So that's why people have been generating different kinds of things. You can use this one, you can use this one, you can use that one. But in the case in which you have used something to treat a patient, and this is what we use, this is concussion put together for them to get well.
Yes.
You understand my point? Now people will now know, yes, Nigeria is doing something. It's not a issue of we are copying and we are pasting it here and
copy
there.
and
Even if you are copying and pasting, what are you using? Let people know. But in the case if everything is, shielded, people are not. They are
in terms of mixing given to them,
from everything, so people will generate their own information and they disseminate it. And from what she said, people who have a phone, you now see this one, you see that, you don't even know which one to believe. So we should, the government should be alive to its own responsibility by saying that people should know. If you have treated 500 people, out of which 400 got well. From the 400 that got well, yes, this is what we use. This is what we use. This is concussion we used. Just we have Ibadan, what have you, concussion. We have Lagos concussion. We have this one. And then from there, we can now say, yes, this is Nigerian concussion. This is Nigerian preparation. This is Nigerian
remedy.
Yes, remedy for this thing. So are you getting? But in the case in which those things are not there for people to know, they will insinuate. So we still have to bridge that gap. We should have to bridge that gap between the government and the people.
Okay, still watching your image from the station. You can join the conversation via the number being displayed on your television set. And on DSTV, we're on 260, on GoTV 100, and StarTime 113. And you can, of course, be part of the discussion via the number on your television screen. We're talking public relations and COVID-19 assessment and way forward. And let me go back to Mrs. Doisela Ogumbi. A few days back, the president addressed the nation, and he talked about relaxation, and he brought about what they call a curfew in some states. Curfew that, okay, people can move from morning till evening, and from 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or thereabouts, there's going to be curfew. And do you think this will also bring a lasting solution to the issue of social distancing? Do I have a number of questions to ask from the medical aspect, but let me just throw this to you.
We're going to,
It's just like they have opened people to go out, the market and everywhere.
We are going to experience an unprecedented outflow of people. It's like you let loose birds from cage. Those who have been in-house for almost a month. the person that can't walk will make sure he's on the street. So we will not be able to control the masses, the crowd, and the overall effect of that is that COVID will spread wider, and we are not prepared to manage the number. Like Doctor said, something that is lacking in Nigeria as a whole, this is not addressing any state, is that we don't have a database. We don't have the database of anything. We just do things, by imagination, by, sometimes in abstract. We just think maybe, look at the money distribution they were doing in the north, for example. The minister said they have given to about 2,000 families. Another minister came to say that they have disbursed 3 billion in that particular state. 3 billion for 2,000 people. Can you see how we are even spoiling the information for ourselves? Can you see how we are working at loggerheads? We are working at cross purposes. There is no synergy, even within, than across federal and state. Even within, there is no synergy. You want information about something, you will be directed to another person. Another person is not with me. We can't have a whole grip of the information box of the state. There is no, in other words, let me just put it in one sentence. There is no information order. There is no order for information. That whatever leaves the local government will get to the state. The same thing they say in the local government is what they will say.
Orderliness in information dissemination.
Order at all. Everybody comes on the air and say anything. Everybody makes video. Everybody makes voice. You can't even trace it to anybody. But information is like egg. Once it's broken, it's broken. To gather it together now will be too much a problem.
Okay, let me quickly go to...
Managing it is a stress.
All right, let me quickly go to Dr. Alayaki before we round off on this week's edition. She mentioned something about the lockdown of a thing. They want to relax it and come to me first. Whoever that doesn't use face mask will be isolated for 14 days. And people have been coming with improvised face mask from tailors and the rest of, and there are a lot of arguments that those ones sewn by tailors with our local attires may not likely to protect them. What's your opinion about this as a medical practitioner?
Let us be frank with ourselves. Most of the so-called face masks they are using are not that protective. Though, if somebody has it and you cough, you sneeze, as you're talking, it can prevent further spread to other people.
Okay.
But once it has been spread into the atmosphere, and you're using just a fabric or what have you to cover your nose, when you draw in air, you understand, it's like you are attracting the virus, and it can go through the pores that you have within the, what have you, the face mask you're using, that you can still have it. But you can help by reducing. Okay. But I wish all those people are already having it. But you have to protect yourself. So the best one that we know is you are talking about N95 mask, which we are using as the
highly recommended.
Then it's followed by surgical mask that we know, this blue and white or green and white. Yes. So we have some recommended water views, of which we have been saying that it should be readily made available to people. Now let me now come to the initial question when you talk about relaxation, the effect we are going to have.
Quickly, because of time.
Yes, the relaxation, I think we need to talk to our people. Governments believe that people have been shouting, yes, you locked us down, how are we going to eat? Okay, go back to your normal businesses. And we've been told about what happened in 1918 to 1920 when we have this Spanish flu. When there was initial lockdown, they were able to flatten the curve. But people rejoiced and said, oh, yes, we should go back to the street. They went back to the streets. And the second wave of the curve, escalated beyond and killed more people than the first curve. So what we're saying is that now government have said, go back to the streets. Go back and walk. As you have said, go back and walk, we should now protect ourselves so that we do not be a victim of COVID-19.
Okay.
Maybe the N95 mask will not be provided by government.
It's okay.
So
maybe the conversation will continue next week. I know you have a lot of things. It's okay. All right, thank you very much. This is where we round off on this week's edition of Your Image. My guests have talked a lot. They have done a lot of justice to the topic COVID-19 and public relations, assessment, and of course, the way forward. And I'm sure the discussion continues next week, God willing. Let me say a very big thank you to Mrs. Doyinsola Ogunbiyi. Thank you very much. One-time chairman NIPR in Ogun State. Also a fellow and three-time commissioner. Thank you very much for being part of our discussion. And of course, the former chairman of NMA in Ogun State, and of course the National General Secretary of the Nigerian Medical Association, Dr. Adeomi Alayaki. Thank you very much. We do hope to meet next week for continuation of this. Thank you very much. Until we meet next week, let's observe social isolation and then let's observe whatever the doctor tells us to do. God bless us. God bless Nigeria. COVID-19, God willing, will leave Nigeria very soon.
Amen.